going on here today. So this is Crucial Cosmic Agency. We are live. We will blow you up so you can see. See, this light is too big. It's too bright. It's too bright? I think it's too bright, right? Turn it down a little bit. You kind of
turn it down.
Blushing up.
Let me just see how I can share it, because now it's not acting right.
Yeah, I should be good.
Share. Watch party?
Yeah, do watch party, Neen.
This will send.
Hey, Chantel. Hey, brother Reggie. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, this is good. I look thicker than a Snicker. I do. Like, ugh. Thicker than a Snicker. Auntie Mary Ann, what's good? Now me being thicker than a Snicker out in these streets. Thierry's on here. So we are over 10, so we need to get started. I was about to say, you better say hi. I did say hi, whatever. So now we're going to do some introductions because I want to do this one more professional than usual. Let me just get my light together so I can just see this live on my thing. Here we go. Let me turn it down though.
And while he's doing that, make sure you guys got your drinks.
Yes, get a glass of wine.
A glass of wine. Cheers to my cousin.
Cheers to cousin. Here we go.
And believe it or not, this is a 6-foot distance. Just like you guys know.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Yep. We got our mask.
Nina, this is good.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not going to show you today because you have company. Right. Thank you so very much. All right. So, Tara's not joining. So before let's do the introduction, then we take the why Tara's not here, and then we'll see her in a little bit. Okay. What's up, Trevor? How you doing, boo? All right. So hey, everybody. As you know, my name is Dr. Kreative. Thank you guys for joining this special edition of Conversations. Last week on Sunday, I was talking. I had such a great time. And I kept on hearing my cousins in the background, and it was just like I needed to have a conversation with my cousins. And so my sister will actually be on her way. She's running a little bit behind time due to some things that's happening on the highway, but she'll be here in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
And this is my beautiful cousin, Charlene, but we call her Nina. You want to introduce yourself and what you do?
Sure. I'm Nina, and like he said, or Charlene as my government name. And I'm here because basically I am a nurse, and today is Nurses Day, and we are celebrating all the nurses that work in the emergency department. So on the front lines for COVID-19, and we decided to talk about relationship balances because a lot of us are out here, we're still busy, we're still working, some of us own small businesses that are not running right now, but how do you balance your relationships? And that is the main thing and our main topic that we're going to talk about today. We're willing to have all the comments and try to answer everyone's questions, and we're going to start and we're going to open up.
She's a professional. First of all, Chantel, yes. This is the same cousin who was at the party, drinking her fireball.
Oh, fireball. Who's
remember you came to Omaha for my Christmas present?
Oh, okay.
She's the lawyer or whatever out here in these streets.
Oh yeah, from the Ugly Sweater Party.
Yeah.
Hey, Chantel.
So don't forget, for those who know me personally, if you want to just text me some questions, but we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started like right now. So. We're talking about relationships, and we're talking about balance and how that works out. So, let's see what you got going on here. Hey, Dr. K, hope all is well. Really looking happy. Having a great trip. Yes, I'm having a really, really good time here in Boston, and it's been great because you don't have nothing more to do, but to visit your family and hang out with people and that are close to you and that is quarantining that you feel safe around. So it has been a great experience being able to be around my family. So
let's get right into
it. So I am not in a relationship, but I've been in plenty of them. So I have a lot of relationship advice. This one has been in a relationship for almost 20 years. How long has it been?
Since I was 18.
And you're like, how old now?
I am too old to be telling Facebook.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
35.
That was old of you to say that.
Wasn't it? But yeah, I think relationships, they definitely need a balance. And I think the number one thing for me for balancing relationships is communication. I think that without communication and not being able to tell your partner exactly how you're feeling or exactly how you're not feeling too. And when you begin to have kids inside a relationship, because I am a mother, and I'm a mother of 2 and a brand new 4-month-old, and it becomes a little bit more complicated. You know, you're rustling around, but then you still want to find time to make time for your me. And also your best friend. That's what a real thing was going on. I have a best friend that I've also had before.
Oh my God.
My boyfriend. So the best friend thing is when you really, really try to think about how you can balance them and your boyfriend, because Issa Rae, I was just watching that and I thought it was interesting.
So I believe that your friends were there first. And so at the end of the day, I mean, they live true to who you are. But we talked a little bit about this with another friend. If the person is really your friend, they understand that you're in a relationship and that relationship is a priority of yours. And so they know that they need to come in when they can fit in. So that's almost like, think about it like this. When you are single, your best friend can call you at 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's okay because, bitch, I ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But she can't call you, or he, if you have a male best friend, can't call you, or Artie or somebody cannot call you at 12 o'clock in the morning and think that's okay. You can't think that's okay because I'm in the bed with my mate, or I have somebody else that I'm with. You don't know what I'm doing. So you have to have a balance between both, but at the end of the day, though that person is your best friend, that best friend should understand your situation and what's new with you and allow you to enjoy your relationship, because that's priority. Because that could be your husband or your wife, or whoever you're dating or whatever. So you have to have that priority. So it can be kind of hard, because I have a best friend named Corey who has access to me 24/7. In the beginning of my last relationship, when I was single, he was very used to calling me all the time, hit me up like, bitch, and all those kind of things. But at the end of the day, I had somebody, listen, after 9 o'clock, I can't have no more phone calls, because what it looks like, regardless of what our relationship is, it looks like we got something going on. In reality, that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying?
And I also think that your mate should also be able to trust you, though. So they should know who your friends are, and they should know exactly like what time frames that you're going to talk to them and when you're going to go visit them too. Because I like to do my own thing as well. I don't mind doing my own thing. I don't know how the audience feels. Let's see what you guys are saying out here.
I don't know. I mean, there's only so much own thing that you can do in your relationship, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much own thing. Like, to me, I hate it, but it's reality. When you're in a relationship, you have to run those things through with your partner, especially if you have an in-house boyfriend or an in-house girlfriend, whatever the case is. You have to run those things through that person, because that person needs to be involved. And also, that person should really want to know where you're at. Excuse me, who?
Okay.
Right. Where you're at all times.
We real.
Where you're at all times, because when something happens, that person needs to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I had an issue when I was in my last relationship. In the beginning of it, I was so used to being single and living in LA, I would just get up and go. I was just going to do what I want to do. And I realized I could not do that, because now you're leaving this person thinking, like, what is he doing? How's this working? Is he out in these streets? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to be careful about that. Like, you do need a sense of independence. So I have a man cave, or I had a man cave in my house. And so that helped me decompress and get my own space. But how do you deal with that when you are independent and you don't let anybody tell you what to do, because that's who you are? So how do you deal with that? Because I know you have a strong-ass personality. So how does that work? Hold on, Chantel said something. There's a balance between autonomy and relationships. You gotta respect home. You gotta respect home. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, Chantal. I believe in. And hi to my line sisters out there. I see you guys.
Who's there?
I see them.
Who?
Monet.
Pauline.
Monet and Leanne. They just said hello.
Oh, are they pretty? They probably are.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so being independent and not dependent does cause some friction. But if your partner knows who you are as a person, I don't think that should be a problem. I still like to also be with my partner at the same time. I may not be like, I still like to do my own thing, like I said.
So then what do you do with your partner, Need? Because no shade, I always think we're real. What the hell do you do with your partner?
Whatever I can.
Like what?
Whatever I set time for. I'm not going to tell Facebook.
No,
Hey.
no, Nina.
I'm not
talking about nasty stuff. I'm talking about what do y'all do outside of sex?
Oh my God. Sex is, we don't
You have two babies.
We do not do
You have two babies by the same dude.
Not on Facebook.
They've been together for almost 20 years.
No,
what do y'all do outside of that?
This is not on Facebook. Movies.
Okay, what else?
Fun time. We do stuff with our kids.
Like how often? Like do you have time? Do you have time by
now
yourself?
it's new. Yeah, so you do have time by yourself when the kids are asleep, and if you want to watch, like we'll do stuff in the house, sorta. Before we used to go out.
Hey, Paris.
Hi, Paris. Before we used to go out, but now it's like something that's in the house. If you want to watch TV, have a movie, like a sit-down little lunch, dinner. I make up stuff. I had a quarantine party date night and stuff like that.
So to me, I can do house, but I need to be around people. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to be in a space where there's energy going, there's things flowing. So, and you do like people, Neen, regardless of whatever you may come on. She loves people, but she has to be prompted and prepared for people. But you do sometimes in the outlet. Hence why you at Tanika's house sometime, why you hang with Artie and things like that. So what do you do when you need those outlets, but you want to share it with them? So I get you do the movies, the the
date night dinners.
So what else is there to do when you just want something fresh, something new? I'm asking for someone. No, Nina, I'm not talking. I'm not talking that. See, every time I say something, you try to bring it into something nasty. I'm really just asking legit questions. What is she saying?
Hold on 1 second. We have our cousin on, Tia Parker. Respect goes a long way. Open communication, never losing self, understanding when you get in a relationship. You have established the friendship and accepted flaws in the person. That's true. That's true.
So, for me, I recognize how important it is to have a friendship. But does that always happen, do you think?
No. I don't think, just like you talked about last week, let's just touch on what you talked about last week.
Okay.
We talked about love at first sight, right? So, about the attraction versus just liking someone's personality. Personality, not lust, but someone's personality. So, for the audience that's out there, when you talking to someone, are you generally just attracted to that person that makes you talk to them? Or is it a personality that just catches your eye and then you talk to them? What comes first?
That's a good question, Ian. Hey, Kimberly ate that. What was the thing you said on the CD? Hi, my name is Kimberly Yvette Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah. Bishop Charlie's Angels, huh?
Hey, Auntie. All right, so let's see what's up. Anyways, we can keep on talking until they say something. Who's that? Tara? Tara, bring your butt. What's that say?
My friend from nursing, he said, you do hate people.
I should have been on that live party. Okay?
No, stop for real. I'm usually, for me, when I met my significant other, I feel like I was attracted to him first before I talked.
What was it?
It was his face. The way he came to the register and he said, what can I do for you? Of course I was getting food because I'm fat. I wanted a slice of pizza.
Where's he working at? Domino's?
No, he was in the mall, Pizzeria Regina. That was back in the day when I was 18.
In Dedham?
No, Braintree.
In Braintree? You worked in Braintree? Okay, he came a long way.
You're so stupid.
No,
but go ahead, go back.
I forgot what I was saying. I
attraction stuff. Don't
make it about you. I'm sorry.
It's not about me.
It's not about I can't help it.
It's about the people.
I like to get the tea.
No, there's no tea for me. Let's go with these people. Let's see.
Ain't nobody even saying that, so we can talk.
Oh no.
So hey, Paris.
We're not talking.
All right. So anyway, relationship balance. So I'm trying to think what else we need for relationship balance. I think you also need to have a healthy. Let's see what Reggie is saying.
No, I have one from Allison Smith who was, hi, my friend. Love and being in love are two very different things. You can lust and love someone, but not truly be in love with them.
Absolutely, and we talked about that last week, but there's definitely a process to get to that in love. And that process that we talked about last week It's all about taking the time to get to know that individual and see how they blend and balance your failures and your successes. Because there needs to be an even balance for that. And I think if you do not have that even balance, your relationship is destined to fail. For example, as I'm getting to know people and I'm single, blah, 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 probably not for long, but, you know, as I'm doing that, I'm making sure that they're hitting every part in my relationship. So there's things that I know that I failed my last relationship that I need to be stronger on, or the person needs to be strong for me. So there's qualities about me that it's like, I cannot book a plane. I know it may sound weird, but I find really bad deals. So I usually give that to people to help me out because I'm not good at that. Or I'm only good at like opening doors and paying bills and buying the food. That's basically all you're getting from me because I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. So I think it needs to be an even balance. And also, if there's something in your last relationship that really irks you, you have to make sure that that person is not falling into those traps. Because naturally, if you are smart and have a good sense of discernment, you should be able to pick up on things that you just a red flag. Because I think all of us, majority of us that's on this live, we're at a certain age where we don't have time to sit around and wait for that good person. If you're wasting my time, I don't have that. Mm-hmm. Time is ticking. Give me that ring or goodbye.
Right.
So let's see what
and the audience, we really want you to tell us, how do you balance your relationship, whether it be with your best friend, be with your significant other,
right.
Any relationship. How do you balance that? And share with everybody else. And we see that our brother Reggie's on again. There is always going to be an initial attraction, which I do agree with. But depending on what piques your interest in a partner is going to determine if it's going to continue. That's true too. And that goes right back to the communication. When I'm talking to someone and you're like, oh, he's cute, but he ain't got nothing to offer. Like you're talking, you're like, oh my God, this guy's the stupidest person I've ever met in my entire life.
So what I've noticed, like
it happens.
The really attractive people, I meet some really good-looking people. They're all empty-brained and dumb. Majority of them look amazing on the outside. Nice bodies, nice fat booties, like I like them. And at the end of the day, they have no substance.
Right.
Like
and that's
none.
A big word.
Like
that's a big word.
Mean. When I tell you nothing, I mean nothing.
Nothing.
Like you
nothing.
sit and you watch, like you sit and you talk. You said you're sitting like, damn, you're just beautiful, but
you're not.
What's 1 + 1?
Right.
No, seriously.
Right. And then you see people together. You're like, how did you guys get together?
Do you ever like see somebody who doesn't look that good,
you're
and then somebody who's like extremely good looking?
Yeah.
But do you know? I came to a conclusion that the reason why that happens is because that person who doesn't look that good in our eyes. That's shady, but I feel like it's true. Like the people that maybe not they work harder and have to make sure they have substance to live. Mm-hmm. Like
I like conversation. I like dialogue. I like speaking. I want to know what your future is. I want to grow with you. Like,
okay, so do the person to create balance? Should there always be a conversation of future plans? Like, should there always be, like, should I be constantly talking about, in 5 years, we better have this. In 10 years, we better have a house.
Absolutely. For all my married people out there, they know that. So if you're in a different relationship, when I was younger, I would say that I didn't have that thought process. I didn't think about growth. I didn't think that, I was going to be with that person for long term. I didn't think that, I needed to establish a set of rules or guidelines. Or right now at this stage of my life, which people, you guys are in your 30s, 20s, and 30s, you know what you want. So that's when you can go out and go get what you want. You have the guidelines. You've seen it. We've been to college. We've been through high school. We went to grad school. You know what you want. Hello. Why not? Right. You get your house. You want the whole family connection, but you don't want to just get married to get married because you know what? Divorce rates are very high. And being black, that's what we always come back to. Mm-hmm. Being black and who we are, there's so many broken families. Did you grow up in a broken family?
Did you grow up in a broken family? Did you grow up in a broken family?
Maybe we're cursed.
To the point, it's kind of weird because when I see people that have a mom and a dad, I'm like, oh, that happens?
Right.
Like, I didn't know. Like, I'm proud of you for being in this house with your boyfriend and your kid and your children. That means something in our family.
It does.
Do you hear me? Auntie Vaughn was the only.
Right.
Until recently when people started getting married. Like, But people didn't believe in marriage in our family.
But the women in our family, we're cursed.
Don't say that. I rebuke that because you know what? I really do believe that.
We'll see who's next.
Because no shade, no tea. This is why Miss Tara was here. Like she's been in like a 6.5, 7-year relationship, and boom. Artie said something about.
Yes, our cousin Artie has chimed in. He is a relationship expert, and he should have been here, but he does have work. He works full time.
And he's single. Adam, his name is Artie.
He's not single.
He's not single. Artie is married.
He's not single. It's hard to have substance if you got by with vanity all your life. Oh, snap.
That was good.
Artie.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
My bad, cuz I mean, I'm proud of you. Amen.
Depending on the age, I believe they should.
Conversation in regards to the future of what you're looking to avert. Why is you're wasting each other's time?
And sometimes when they talk about time and wasting, sometimes it is worth going through something. Because then how are you going to learn?
Judith. Hi, boo.
Who's Judith?
You know what? My ex-girlfriend. Jules, she can sing. Full lips, big boobs.
No.
She went to Berkeley.
Okay. Hi, Judith.
Hey, Jules. How you doing, boo?
Come on, y'all. We need some people to, chime in. Oh, Artie said we told you to relax. Yes.
Well, that doesn't mean anything to me. I love you too, Artie.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. So, I feel like we'd love to get to something. What was I saying?
You lost your train of thought?
Probably. Oh, Ashley, hey boo. Now big boobs. Yes, baby. I don't think you have them now. I think you worked out now and they're not as big as they used to be. But you always have really big boobs. What?
Stay on topic.
But you know, that's how I can't help but talk how I talk. This is what I am.
Yes, so Tanika's online too, so go ahead.
Oh, Tanika's ghosting us because you never know when she's on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So,
she's on.
Alright, that's good. So we're talking about relationship balance and making sure that you have even goals. No, there's nobody's. Yes, thank you, Jesus, hallelujah.
What time is it? 8:30, so you have to switch the topic. Go ahead. But keep going. Finish your comments.
It's kind of getting good though.
Yo, go ahead.
No?
Go ahead.
What topic did we even have a second topic?
Yeah.
We do?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well then, she planned this, y'all. I'm trying to do better. But no, so I think overall, let's just cap that up then. In relationship, balance is extremely, extremely important. At the end of the day, you have to make sure that the person is evenly yoked with you and that person is able to give you your free time and also a lot of quality time, because those are the things that's going to get you through the hard times. Remember that memories are the things that you hold on to when you're feeling sad, and developments are the things you do as you're happy. I come up with some good little things.
That was good.
I know.
Yeah.
Visually, it was good too. Like you see it. All right. Let's move
So
on.
what do you see yourself in a couple of years? I know you wanted to be married, and you've been, like you said in your last segment, that you've been engaged a couple of times. So what do you see in your future marriage?
That was a question, Neen, that I didn't expect, so now I gotta think, and I already know, so I don't know why I gotta think. So for my future marriage, that individual is gonna be extremely special to me. It's not gonna just be a relationship. We're not just gonna be dating. It's gonna really be like God ordained this person to be in my life, and I know that God's gonna allow me to have that, and it's gonna be like a best friend with sexual benefits. And I say that because I want to be able to share every part, an intimate part of me, all my past. I have so much history, you know my past history. I have a lot of history that is very sensitive for me, and also that I just sometimes don't really share people because it may be too much for people to actually digest. You know what I'm saying? So I want this person to be such a good friend to me that I feel like when I'm excited to sit, and when I come home from work, like, bitch, let me tell you what happened today at work. Like, I want to be able to give everything to that person and lay it down on the table and know that it's safe. That it's in a place that there's no harm, that he won't or she won't come back to me with any bullcrap. You know what I'm saying? Wow, I just said that on my mind. I never talked that down, right?
Yep.
Wow. Anyway, so okay, everybody knows. So anyway, I want that person to be, like I said, my best friend, but I also have to make sure that we are able to build each other. So I want to be that person's biggest fan. I want the person to be my biggest fan. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to grow old. I want to be able to build a family and financially be stable. Because I always got to bring that up. Financially be stable. I'm not asking for that person to be a millionaire, but I want that person to have goals and dreams and aspirations and also have some type of drive. where I know that, okay, well, you're not there now, but you want to oversee me in the next few years. And I can deal with that. As long as your drive is so high, because a gold digger is more attractive than a gold digger.
Oh, wow. And then does anyone in our audience, sweetie, you should always want to date your spouse. That keeps it fresh. Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, but I think I was more so coming off, like, I know people get in relationships out of vanity, like Ari said, or just, the person looks good and they look good on paper, and we look good together, and let's date and let's see what we can do. And that's why you get a lot of deadbeat dads and a lot of horrible moms, because people really don't take the time to be friends. Because even if you do break up with a person, due to that friendship you created in the beginning, that doesn't end because you have such a strong foundation. So if y'all do split up, you're able to have a great co-parenting situation. You're able to have a good relationship, phone conversation, or you can see that nigga on the streets at Washington Park and still be able to be like, "How you doing?" You know what I'm saying? So
yes. And so about growth, do you guys agree that you want to grow with the individual? I mean, I definitely do.
Keep the fire relationship.
I see that.
So, Reggie, I would love to know how you keep the fire in your relationship. Do you wear sexy drawers? Huh? Do you? But
oh my gosh.
But I believe in keeping things interesting in a relationship. Though I'm a Christian, I don't have sex before marriage. But hello, I am just telling the truth, okay? When that day comes, I want to make sure that I do things that don't cut me, you whore. I don't do those things. But if I was to do those things, I want to make sure that I keep things spicy, whether it's something nice, preparing myself extra nice, going and doing things in different places, keeping things fresh, and especially for those of you who, whether you're a female or male that dates a man, we're very simple. So if you do stupid stuff with us, no, we are very simple.
Okay, ladies, so you guys are online. How simple are dudes?
I'm trying to tell you how simple we are.
How simple are you? Complex.
Don't come for my life.
Complex.
No, you're complex.
No, I'm not. There's no
Nina,
way
yes,
that I'm complex. No.
Nina, absolutely.
I just want you to just clean up.
Well,
Have the bath water done.
But all we want for you to do is cook and bring us some goddamn food to the room.
How am I going to cook?
Clean up the goddamn house.
How am I going to cook? Well, I got to take care of 2 kids.
Nina,
how many mothers are out there that got to take care of their kids, work full time?
But I'm trying to tell you how simple we are. But if you give us some type of validation that we're actually being your man, you allow us to be your man, and don't fucking
rub that tushy.
That's the problem. Some of you guys are extremely independent to the point where you're not able to give your man the opportunity to be a man.
Oh yeah, that was a good point. I snapped some fingers.
No, seriously. I did a lot of. I'm serious.
Are you witness that?
Yes, I hate your ass. Because I dated a lot of independent chicks who very successful, have their own everything, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes down to it, they don't know how to give up that hand. And when you don't know how to give up that hand, that guy's going to feel like he ain't shit. So when he feels like that,
he ain't going to do shit.
Do you hear me? Do you understand what I'm saying? We're simple. Small stuff like, baby, you look good. Small stuff like, I made breakfast this morning will make us do the world for you.
Well, I think it's the same in the reciprocal for a woman. If you do what you were supposed to be doing, so it creates less work for that person. I don't know if anyone works nights, but I'm just speaking from my perspective. Okay. Working nights and being a full-time mom and being involved in all other aspects of life, trying to make my kids see me as that independent and go-getter. Setting a good example. That's what I'm saying. It's like the simple things like the trash is out. And, it's a panty dropper, right?
Absolutely.
So if you want it, so one dish is clean, you like, oh shoot.
Let me give them some.
Right. And that's one. Oh shoot. I'm not saying that's not happening here because it is happening here, and then you get excited.
Tara, I seen you pull up, and I know you're watching, so I don't know why you just come in. Anyway.
Oh, Tara pulled up.
Her car was up.
Word. We're about to get some more people. Well, we only have a little bit of time left.
Yeah, we can chill for a little bit. We're fine. This is a special edition.
No.
But anyway, so like I was saying, we're very simple. It don't take much to make us happy. For me, it takes nothing to make me happy. Tell me I look good, smack me on my ass every now and then, cook me a plate of food, I'm going to do the world. And I think that's with a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes, like I said, a lot of independent chicks, because they're so independent, they don't know how to take their hands off of stuff and allow a man to actually step up. When you're navigating and nitpicking on every little thing that he does not do, makes him be like, well, fuck you, I'm not going to do nothing. When will you do anything for?
Ladies, I hope you heard that, because that is a very true statement. Something I've heard numerous times. Very true statement.
About that. Absolutely. I agree. You guys are simple and compared to women. Absolutely, we are. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah, and I believe that too. I just wanted to get Reggie riled up. I mean,
Sorry.
Malachi riled up. You guys seen that? So he just came out. We're waiting for our sister to come through the door. Come on. Yes. So let's see whoever else has a comment or a question.
Every now and then, I'll let them hang with the fellas without that.
Thanks, Boo, Bridget.
Yeah, something. She said something.
No, she just said I look good.
Oh, okay. Well, what about me, Bridget? Damn. The fuck? This is my life. But so Carla said men like space every now and then. Let me go hang with the fellas without backlash.
Oh, that's the same thing with the sisters, though. That's what I was saying about the being independent. Like, I like to hang out with my girls, but at the same time, I still like to, be with my man, too. But I like the co-collaboration of going to events with them and still having their, free time. But, I mean, it is what it is. What else can we touch upon? Any of the married... What you got pissed off about?
Because I feel like I've been in a situation where somebody was like, if you did this, I'll do this. But okay, I'm simple. I've done a lot. But my thing is, for stupid stuff, I ask for you to let me lay on your lap. Come on, put your head on my chest. You know what I mean? Simple, real simple, stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? That makes me feel like I'm validated as a man. Because if I don't get the validation verbally, and that's why a lot of men go cheat as well, because they don't get the stupid validation from their women. Because seriously, I'm telling you, that's part of the reason.
I understand where you're coming from.
And you may hear an excuse if anybody ever cheating, you hear somebody, well, I just feel like I wasn't.
How do y'all feel about the cheating thing?
Oh, God. Don't open up that kind of worms.
The worms have been open. I want to know.
What do you guys feel about cheating? How can you forgive cheating? Is it something that you need to figure out what kind of cheating it was? I can forgive cheating if it had no emotional attachment. If I look through your phone and there's I love you babies and things like that or something like that, I couldn't do it. That means you're emotionally attached to that person. And I'm not going to say I'm okay with it, and I would definitely give you the cold shoulder for a little while, but Oh God, Ashley, oh God, what?
Ashley, come on, sis. you know what to do.
Hello.
Come on, sis. Not everyone likes touch. Yes, not everyone likes touch. Everyone has to learn love languages and be Carol's Tibbs.
Oh, Carol's Tibbs?
Yeah, okay. Willing to compromise. That's true. I'm not a cuddler. Men cheat because it's available. It's available. You don't go to everything that's available.
Okay, so tell me love languages. Well, then, educate people know what that means. But for the people that don't know what that means, what does love languages mean? What kind of things do you do? You know what I mean? So for love languages, it's important to know that, but I think through your courting situation, you should be able to know if what that person likes just through conversation. Is she out there?
No.
Oh, she's not? Maybe I just seen something. Well, whatever. My mother's finally on. Yes, we do. Okay, you guys do know that. But at the end of the day, love language is not the only... If the person that you're with likes touch, and this is the person that's your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your boo thing, this is what they like, why not please them and do it?
I mean, you should.
Is it a big deal?
It's not a big deal.
Where is the live?
So you should be able to do that. So we're only on for 10 minutes or 15 more minutes. So if you guys have any other questions, because we're going to be closing out soon, we don't want to make this a dry thing. So.
I think we've been pretty good. It's pretty interesting. Let's see what Ashley has to say.
With Ashley.
Ashley. She says there are so many levels to cheating. Some people don't consider anything cheating unless it's physical. True. At the end of the day, it's conscious thought and a choice. That's true. So, boom. You're having a conversation with somebody online, and they just inbox you, you're just talking whatever, but then they start giving compliments and things like that, and you're not trying to be mean. It's like, oh, thank you so much, all right, well, cool, well, and every now and then they hit you up. Is that considered flirting?
A little bit, yeah.
Even because you're just like, oh, thank you so much, like you're not.
No, so you said
am I supposed to shut it down? Like, thank you for saying that I'm cute, but I have a boyfriend, but I have a girlfriend.
You could just say thank you, be casual about it, but you don't make it go further or past that point. I mean, if they're inboxing you one more time inside your DM, it needs to stop. It needs to stop.
You see that side lip?
It needs to
the
stop.
side lip come?
It needs to stop. you know,
That's
people like know that you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship and you're deciding to do something outside of your relationship because you're unhappy, leave. Leave. Why do you waste your time to cheat because, oh, my girlfriend's not paying me any attention? Oh, cry, well, it's me, blah, blah, blah.
But is it that easy if you've been dating somebody for a long time to just leave?
It's not easy. That's why the girl always stays.
But what about the guy? Does the guy always stay too?
Please.
Because y'all girls are
you
not
guys
the same.
We do one thing. We step out one time.
We go
Oh,
crazy.
peace out.
We go
That's
crazy
it.
with that.
But you done gave me 5 STDs.
Right,
Right.
right.
This is my man.
Right. Now,
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
I get that. That's not cool. But I don't know. I don't know. I have a different view on cheating, on flirting. I kind of, and this is going to sound very awkward, I don't mind someone seeing my partner and being like, damn, you fine, da da da. And I can be right next to that person.
No.
But here's the thing.
Hold your compliments.
No. Listen to this.
Hold your compliments.
It's about my partner, how my partner handles that. Now, you have 2 choices here.
Okay.
Either you can be like, who me? Thank you so much. Oh my God, you're cute yourself. Or you can be like, thank you, but at the end of the day, this is my man right here. I want you to address him and say thank you to him.
I mean, I wouldn't be rude about it. I just think, I think you can take a compliment as it is. Like, thank you, appreciate it. That's it. It doesn't go further than that. They clearly can see that you're with somebody. I hate when they do that. Clearly can see. I had someone buy drinks
You just look drinking.
not for me, but for the person that I was with, like shots on deck. I'm like, no, sis. If I knew you with him, I would have brought you one too. Sis, no, you shouldn't have been buying him a drink in the first place. Man? Yes, I'm so saying.
The fuck?
Yes,
Sorry, Rudy, what you do?
Right? No one. Oh, you know what I did. You know what I did. Let's look at some of these questions here. Reggie, I am an overall forgiving person, but it will depend on what the cheating situation is entail. I feel you too, cousin. Ashley, love language is important because most people love their significant other the way they want to be loved, not necessarily how the other person may want or need to be loved. That's true. Thin line. A simple compliment is okay, but all the extra isn't right, Ash.
That's because y'all all got some
extra,
Blackberry.
no.
That's because y'all some Blackberry.
No, she's not good. She's not good.
You went to Madison, no, I'm joking. You went to.
No, she didn't.
I know she did. I'm joking. She went to OB.
It's true. Most people do until they learn otherwise. Like it's true. Like they stay, Marquita.
I think if that's what she's talking about, then yeah.
Oh.
What?
My
What's your line sister say?
No, not my line sister, but one of my members. I have to be enough. You need to know your value, and I'm a cuddler. Kimbra.
Hello, that comes through the conversation, and you have to tell your man that that's what you love. And if he's not honoring that, then you need to correct that. If it's not something you're getting, and it's not making you satisfied, then you need to leave it alone. Did my mom say something?
Yep. So Bridget, she's married, so there has to be a mutual respect and discussion on those terms and definitions for you and your partner, expectations, etc. And I agree that. But when you're in a relationship for like so long, I feel like the expectations are lost because you don't realize to say that up front. Like I feel like now that growing with my partner, I know what to say and I know what I want. But then you're like, dang, is it too late? Or will he like conform and do what I want as a part of the relationship?
Do you feel like there's some things that you do in your relationship that you wish you would have done differently so that you
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Oh, my sister's here. Hold on.
Let's go get her.
There's more. Auntie and Kimbra. Honesty is the most important. Honesty is the most important key to healthy relationships, even when it hurts. That's true. She's forcing it.
I believe that you could be honest for sure, but make sure that you're smart about the environment in which you're being honest, because sometimes the environment can really change how the honesty comes off to a person. So be very careful about people's emotions. By the way, you both look awesome. Tara's on her way and should be there soon. You shouldn't lead them on, especially if you're in a relationship.
You have to say it out loud too, just in case.
Tavi's saying, I'm just getting up. I don't want someone whom I'm not interested in.
I don't want someone whom I'm not interested in. Intimate, say, I wish I was there with you. So you're not interested in anyone that you wouldn't possibly be intimate with, which is true because I feel the same way. Like, why would you be with somebody that you can't really have that next level of sexuality? You have to have some type of intimacy. It doesn't mean sexual. It doesn't. Auntie, you're gonna have to clarify that so that we know. But Bridget also, yes, sis. A man bought me a drink in front of my husband before, and I thanked him, and immediately passed the drink to my husband. Yes, Bridget.
Come on, Bridget.
Right?
I know my husband. He was cautious. I mean, what's his name?
Oh, Auntie said that she is not a kisser, and I'll let a man know beforehand. That's why coronavirus spread. Can we talk about that?
Shut up.
I've always been a person that's been a germaphobe.
Anyway, moving in.
I don't know if Kim's still online, but she know that I was always like that. And if you have chronic halitosis, forget about it totally. But I don't mind cuddling. That's good.
Who said it? My mother? Gross.
Hey, Miss P. Welcome online.
Who's Miss P?
She works at my shop.
Hi, Miss P. How are you doing? Charlene's cousin, Malachi Eason.
So we only have like 10. Tara, we got 9 minutes.
I had to wash my hands.
I know you wash your hands. Push over. It's a pandemic.
Let me move over this way. Which way?
Which way you want to go?
Oh,
Why you go in front of the camera?
Did you put your finger up like the church people do? Come on over. Where's enough space for us all on the couch? So everybody, this is my little sister, Sade Hollins, Tara, everything. It's my boo. She's a little because she's a businesswoman and she has life to do. She's a teacher. She's beautiful and she's awesome.
Happy Teachers Week.
Happy Teachers Week. I'm a teacher and a nurse. So we're talking about relationships. So what are some of the goals you have in your relationship? You've been in one for almost 7 years now. What are the goals that you want? Don't put your hand on my thing. You hear us, we're talking. What are your goals?
Some of my goals, like what? Tell me.
Like, you have to have some goals. You've been together for a long time. What are your goals?
Like,
I already said you couldn't have left the door open for us all.
Yo.
some of my goals are to be happy, to feel like I heard you earlier saying you want somebody to be your best friend.
Yes.
Like, I want somebody to be my best friend, like somebody I can call all the time, like whenever I'm feeling like, ooh, let me tell you this real quick.
That's always fun. They do that to me.
What? I know. Like, this is my best friend right here.
Right, for real. You talk all day long.
And I want somebody who takes charge, who
Absolutely.
takes initiative.
Initiative, charge. Yes,
Okay,
sis.
he asked me, but okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, you always come for me. That's why we don't talk.
I love you, Nina.
I shouldn't
You
open
look
the
nice,
door. I
though.
shouldn't
She does look cute, don't
open
she?
the door.
Thanks.
I shouldn't open my
I
door.
brought the lipstick, but it's in the car.
Dang, I need that.
Go ahead. I want somebody who especially takes charge and makes decisions, because I feel like I guess people would say as a Libra, but as myself, like, I'm very indecisive, and I want somebody to make decisions, be like, hey, we're gonna do this, or be spontaneous, but also plan at the same time. Is that asking for too much? Like, sometimes be spontaneous, but then sometimes be like, oh yeah, we planned this out, let's do this. Be spontaneous in the fact that, like, oh, we're gonna go on this weekend trip, and be
Bungee jumping?
yeah, like, just spontaneous, and then, like, let's go do something real quick, but then have it planned out once we get there, or like
I like that.
yeah,
I like that.
But do you find that? Is that reality?
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
so.
There's men out there that do it. We have our cousin Teron that just joined.
I think so.
And hi, Miss P again. Thank you. The DNA runs in the family. She called you handsome. There you go.
Thank you, Miss P.
Miss P, please tell us about stroking men's egos. You can help comment.
Well, I love it. That's what makes me feel like I'm valued.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it does.
Teron said Happy Nurses Day and hey cousins. Hey Teron, come
Hello.
on. We need you to chime in on your marriage. Your marriage.
Hey, Slat.
Oh.
Turn me down. So I feel way down in there.
I don't want to share this thing.
So we have like 5 minutes to go.
We may go more longer.
Yeah, we may. We will sing at the end of the episode.
Who was gonna say Dr. Jesus?
Yeah, we will. We're gonna sing Doctor's Medicine.
Dr.
At
Medicine?
the end of the episode, as you guys know, we're gonna put our aunts on highlight. There's testimony.
Moving on.
No, we still putting them
You're
on
mad,
highlight.
you're Charlene's daughter.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Rehearsal is tomorrow.
Good night. Is it?
Go ahead. We're going back to relationships. Anything else that you want to add?
Well, that's dope, Tara. I think that it's important for you having goals. I think that there's a amount of honesty that goes into that. So I feel like in a relationship, you have to say those things. Because once again, I'm speaking for the men. That's what you want. We want to make you happy, but if you do not tell us, then we're not going to do that for you. And if you do tell us, and we don't do that, that person's not for you.
Okay, so like if I tell you something, right, and you don't do it like within a certain period of time, or like that same day, or do you
They never do it on time,
or do you be like, oh, these are things that I want. If this is not happening within 3 months, like, is it feasible to give somebody a timeline?
Don't do that. That's not right. Don't put a time on it. If you tell me what to...
Hello, finish your sentence.
yes, please.
Got a little comment.
If I tell you what to do, when to do something.
So if you tell me that you want something, you cannot put a time on that. Just if I say, I hear you, Tata, that means that I heard you. I'm going to start planning to see how I can make that something. But I want it to also be a surprise for you. So you have to take your time and just know that I put it out there. Now, if it's been a year and this guy has not done anything that you asked him to do, then you have to move on. The world is so full of
people
and
so
beautiful people who are qualified, smart, and willing to give you the world. Mm-hmm. You can't sit and be comfortable in one space because God will not allow you to be in one space forever.
Right. And that's true. And I'm just going to look at the comments from Marquita because she said love language is applied to friends as well. Learn with your friends and family first.
Who you telling?
Yeah.
Helpful way to learn as well. And it is, and I feel like our family dynamic relationships is not something that we often talk about. We also celebrate Kwanzaa. It's a really big thing about in our family that we celebrate. We've been celebrating for over like 25 years. But we have different subjects that we hit upon. I mean, most of it's mostly education, if you count me wrong. Education, that's good, because we're all educated. Education, and to, put family first. And that is one thing that we do here most of the time. Some people will feel differently. That's okay. But we do put family first, and it is a helpful way to learn, I feel.
You said something earlier. We do not talk about relationships.
We don't.
But I do think there's also, besides not talking about relationships, there's other things that we could work on.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Like what?
Like our unity. I feel like there's certain parts of our family that could be more unified or like communicative and stuff like that.
And the good thing is that my mom.
I just want to give a shout out to Kylie because that's my little cousin.
Why you're her back? You're her back. Oh, you just say that.
Yeah. So what you saying?
No, I was just saying that the communication we don't want to forget, not just because she's my mother, but she does have a family email where she tries to keep as much people as she can in the same communication. But I think that you do learn from your communication. And our cousin Tia is on the line, and she said you need to take charge all the way and be consistent. And consistency in a relationship, Tia, that is number one.
Boom.
What? No, don't start it.
No.
Yes,
I'm here.
I'm your cousin.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, go into
Consistency is cool. What does take charge mean? Give me some examples of what that means for a man to take charge in a relationship. Because my definition is different than take.
Okay, what's your definition, and then we'll tell you ours.
Okay, so my definition for take charge is, all right, we're doing this, we're going here, we're doing this, the bills are paid, I need you to do this right now. It's very like boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Like and it makes me feel like when y'all say that, y'all want a man who is very like, I'm the man of the house. I take care of this, I take care of that. But when you got that, you can't even take a guy taking charge of what we're going to eat for dinner.
But this is how you have to match your swag.
But see, what do you mean by take charge?
Match your swag. So you have to match your partner. I feel like you have to take charge the way your partner would take charge in your own way, but still be that person that matches your partner. You have to.
But what does that mean by matching your partner, Charlene?
Come on.
Come on, I'm serious. Like, what does that mean?
Someone that is exactly like you.
So I take from your leadership in the way that you interact with people.
You see how I interact.
Change it into mine.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do I take from? Because I might not be good. Because you may not be the best.
I'm simply the best.
Oh my god! Did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then we do have some other questions. I don't want to cut you off, but
questions are more important.
Time period. Tia said the time period is not feasible, which we already had touched upon. But we have our sister Kimbra, who is online as well, and she said, I think a big part of being happy in a relationship, you have to know the direction you want to go in, but yet be open and willing to compromise with your mate.
Compromisation is very important. I compromised for a long time.
The person who talked about friendships being something that you
Yes.
have to.
Marquita.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I originally came on here to say family relationships, because I feel like with friendships, that's something that I always strive to work on, and when I get good in one area or one group of friends, I lack in the next group of friends, and like I want to figure out if anybody in the comments or people watching like have ideas of like how to balance that. And because sometimes it's a little weird to bring, work friends with your high school friends, and shout out to my elementary friends, like stuff like that.
There's some people that you just can't mix, right?
Hold on.
So everyone has different types of personality
family
relationships,
members.
and even family members. I don't know why there was a niece flag.
You know why.
There's
That's why you
certain
said
people
that.
that you can't mix. No, but from being your older cousin and learning from our older cousins, Sneak and Rashida, we love you.
Hello, Tanique Rashid.
And we love y'all. So it's just learning, period. Learning from our older cousins and about being in groups of friends, right? I had a group of friends, right? I had a group of 5 ladies, and I was always, that's fine. And I was always in a relationship with them, but they were all different. Everyone has a little different personality, but you know how you think that those people would mix, and it did. It went well, and you just tell them like, she likes to do this and she likes to do that. But I think it's important that you think consciously of who you're going to be inviting in your circle, so that way that it won't be. Sometimes you got to have the other friends on the side. You just have to, and you make time for them as well. You may not make as much time as your best friend, but you still make time.
Thank you for being on.
Who's going?
Felicia, my best friend. So, let's go to the question. I feel like if I can't bring all my friends in the same place, then I don't know if they're really my friends, or if I charge them that much. If I cannot bring Kalisha to go meet Corey, who lives in Connecticut, then there's no way that one of those individuals cannot be my friend. That means there's some type of embarrassment or some type of different attitude that I'm giving to each group of people, and I'm one person at all times. You attract a certain type of person. Though calibers of life and placement and things are different, you should be able to have a group setting where all your friends come together and they come together because you're that glue. You're the consistency between all of them, and there's something special about you that they all attract to. You know what I'm saying? So I have a small group of people, my friends, though I used to have a whole bunch of people that I thought was my friends. You know what I'm saying? And as I grew up, I realized the value of friendship and that it really is a relationship. It takes time, commitment, dates, money, everything. That's what a friendship is. And the same energy you put into a relationship, you honestly put into a friendship without the sexual part. You know what I'm saying? And it's an intimate thing. And so I put that energy into the few friends that I have. And I know that if I was to ever have something, I can invite everybody into one place and feel comfortable. So if you have groups of friends which are from different time periods in your life, that's okay. But here's how we talked about like 4 shows prior. Not everybody's your friend.
No.
Majority of those people are not even your friends. They're your associates. And because they're your associates, you feel kind of guilty because your associates are not messing with your friends. Your real friends are going to intimidate your associates because they don't know you. They know who you used to be or what they see online or what a check-in conversation looks like. But your friends know that Tara is dealing with this. She's going through this. Bitch. They know that Tara. You know what I'm saying? Your associates won't know, but you feel guilty because you're a person who likes to please. And you want everybody to be happy. And you feel guilty if you put them in a place where they're not comfortable. They're not going to be comfortable because they're not your friends. They're your associates.
That's a good point. Yeah, everyone is your friend. And even if you want to call them your friend, they're not. They really aren't. That's why you only trust your family.
Did I say something wrong, boo?
No, I'm internalizing it.
Okay, I'm just, I'm going to always keep it 100 with you. And I don't even know what groups of friends you're talking about. I'm just giving what the Lord saying.
Oh my God.
I think we are at time. It's 9:04. We're 4 minutes
Yeah.
over. This was great. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I really had a great time with my cousin Charlene and my sister Tara. Thank you. You have been a
Y'all
great
want to sing I
blessing
Want
to
to Trust
me.
in the Lord?
You can sing it.
Go ahead, Nina.
Why don't y'all want to even promote yourselves?
Because everyone knows
I'm
how
not
to
a
sing.
singer.
Tara is
Oh,
a singer.
please.
Go ahead, Tara. Go ahead, Nina.
You
We'll follow
start
you.
off with all, no, boy, come off, G. Y'all are messing with me. Friends.
You Tara,
No,
man.
that's not fair. That's not fair.
We love
No,
you.
I don't love y'all.
Oh, do you have a giveaway with you?
It's in my car.
Okay,
Oh,
we have
okay.
a giveaway
Go get it
to
real
end
quick so
up.
we can show them.
I can tell y'all what
Yeah,
it is.
just
Okay,
tell them
good.
what it is.
Alright, so how we gonna do the giveaway? Go ahead.
I don't know. It depends on people who are interested, probably, or people who comment the most or interact the most with other people in the comments, or people who are just interested in having this giveaway. It's just different types of nail things, a bunch
We
of.
can bring them on the live. How about that? Let's take 10 minutes to just bring people on the live.
To do what?
Just video them in if they want to.
If you want to there's polishes. There's some. If you have an iPhone 10, there's some screen protectors. There's a little basket. It comes in a little basket. There's also. I'm done. I can't.
Anybody want a free gift?
So I'll ship
Hey,
it
Malcolm.
for anybody who's interested in that. So it's like more so, I guess, geared towards people who are interested in nail things, but also like there's iPhone 10 screen protectors in there too.
So yeah, actually, did you know that Kalisha wants to go to nail school?
Okay.
And
so
I told her that she probably won't even get on because she probably got her wig on. Who's Red?
Hmm?
Is that a cousin? Red Stat? Oh, that's my homegirl from.
We're getting to. We're not interacting.
Oh yeah, sorry. So let's see. I don't think anybody's really responding. So we'll just give it to somebody who really would like to. Let's count all the people who responded the most, and then we'll give that basket to that person.
Sounds good.
All right, we could do that. So did you want to close with a song, or I usually close with a prayer?
You should close with a song and then you can pray.
So do a song, Neen.
No, you should really have one on your heart. You are at church 24/7. You don't have one song in your heart. You should have something.
I don't even know church music no more.
Trust in the Lord until you die.
I will trust. I will trust. I will.
Because I'm cute.
I was giving
You
out
don't
our
want to do
keys.
that?
I'm not a soprano. I'm a baritone.
All right.
I'm a bass.
I was sick. I was sick. I was
Your
sick.
mom told us not to sing. She said she'll sing it on the next show.
Oh God, Ma. Okay, let's do
She said, my friend, my license said, you know Charlie ain't backing up with no song. Yeah, CC, you know how I am.
Let's see. What song do we used to do?
A lot of songs.
Greet somebody.
We ain't singing that song.
You should have sang that at the beginning.
That should be the song. Okay, we're gonna make that a song. But anyway,
We can sing Dr. Medicine. They can't stop us.
All right, you'll do it.
Oh, I can't do it.
Right, go ahead, do
Never
it.
mind.
Do it.
I was sick in my body.
Nope, Nina.
No, you didn't.
No, you did it.
Nope. So we're not singing. We're gonna
You were
pray.
from I was sick in my body. It was wrong. So I'll do it and you do what your mom
No,
does.
I'm not gonna.
I was sick in my body. Yeah.
Shut up, on say. No, we're gonna pray out. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's. Are we holding hands?
Yeah, we're family.
Okay.
This is Corona free.
All right, Lord God, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for this time of fellowship. Thank you for these lives, these jokes, and some great information and encouragement. I'm asking that whatever we learned today, that we're able to apply those wonderful things to our lives, into our friendship and relationships. Bless everybody who watch. Allow us to continue to come back and enjoy each other's company. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
And don't forget Crucial Conflict on Sundays at 8. Is it 8?
8 Eastern, 7.
8 Eastern
Central.
and 7 Central. We love all you guys. Thanks for joining in, and I hope you guys got something out of this. Bye.
Peace out. Well, where'd I go live at? Oh,
Bye,
over
guys.
here.
Y'all had one, huh?
Cece said she was singing with us.
Oh, she really?
You don't got on pants.